what's up? Hello, my name is Katia, and today I am going to be doing a very huge book haul of 64 books. This is all of the books that I bought since January, even though this is called the spring book haul, but I've already done a winter one, so this is my spring book haul of 64 books. I have gotten rid of, I think, 3 or 4 of them because they were for school and I just didn't want them. When we get there, I will let you know. So for this, I am not going to be going very in-depth with any of these stories just because otherwise we would be here for 64 hours. So I am going to just give you the name, the title, and if I've read it or not, as well as the publication year, the price I paid for it, and the source of where I paid for it. The first one is You're the Only One I've Told, Stories Behind Abortion by Dr. Mira Shah. This I received for free from my school's Planned Parenthood group. I am very lucky to have such a fortunate Planned Parenthood group, but they provided everybody with a book to read over winter break, and this is the one that I chose, and I have read half of it, and I have really enjoyed what I've read. The next book that I picked up was also for that Planned Parenthood group, except for I had to pay for this one, and that is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. This I paid $15.50 for at Amazon, and I don't support Amazon, but except for my books support Amazon, so I guess I am technically supporting Amazon. This I have not read yet, but it is on my TBR for June. When you see this, I might have already read it, and I might not have. I'm pre-filming for vacation, but that is Hood Feminism. This next book is The Killing the Black Body by Dorothy Roberts. This came out in 2020, and I paid $15.69 for it. This I bought just because this was the third book for the Planned Parenthood group that we had the choice of picking, and I wanted to read all 3. So I have not picked up this yet, but it is on my TBR because this is just, I'm so excited about this. Alrighty, the next one that I have is Wildcat by J.P. Harker. The author sent me this in exchange for a free review back in January, and I still haven't gotten around to it. The author has been very sweet about it, though, and I do plan on reading this probably in the fall. I just haven't had a chance to over the summer. This came out in 2016, and he brought it for me through Amazon. The next book that I bought was from Barnes & Noble, and that is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This I paid $5.95 for, and this came out in 1818. I have not gotten around to this yet, but I do believe that my book club is going to be reading this in November, so you should definitely join. Link is in the description as always. The next 4 books were the books that I was talking about, of which I have already gotten rid of. I'm not going to put anything on the screen just because I don't feel like it, and you shouldn't read these books because they're absolutely terrible. I was basically going to take a political philosophy class, but I ended up dropping that and switching my major. So I just got rid of these books. I didn't need them. The first is The Revolt of the Masses by, who's it by? Jose Ortega y Gasset, and this came out in 1932. I paid $14.35 for it on Amazon. The next one I got was Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche, something. But it came out in 1989. I paid $13.39 from Amazon. The next is Selected Writings from Karl Marx. This came out in 1994. I paid $21 for it, and I got it from Amazon. And then The Politics of Aristotle by Aristotle came out in 1997. I paid $19.95 for it off of Amazon, and that is all of them. Also, I forgot to mention that I paid a total of $577.89, and I read a total of 15 of them. Now, if you have been around a hot sec, you would know that I am actually on a book buying ban now. I'm only buying books for book clubs and books that I need for school, so that is it. And if I see like very, very cheap ones, because $577.89 is way too much money to be spending on books, so I am definitely cutting back. Some of the books that I did put the price down for, I didn't actually by myself, but still, let's say it was still only $500. That's $500 I don't have to pay for towards my education, and that is ridiculous. So I am going to actually be a better person now. Alrighty, next book. The next 4 books that I have are for school. I ended up getting rid of one because I hated it so much, but the first one is Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and it's the adaptation by Damian Duffy and John Jennings. This came out in 2018. I paid $16.99 for it off of Amazon. This I did read for school, and I very much enjoyed it. I did also buy the normal version, which we will be getting to actually read. The next one is the one that I got rid of, and that is The Hole by Hyun Pyun. That came out in 2016. I paid $13.19 for it off of Amazon. The next one is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This I paid $8.73 for off of Amazon, and it came out in 2020. I did read this, and I absolutely loved it. The next one is The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole. This is like the gothic classic book. It came out in, well, this edition came out in 2014, and I paid $9.95 for it off of Amazon. I really enjoyed this. There was some weird themes in it, but like I vibed with it. Then when I got back to school, I went to our local bookstore and picked up Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rainy Edo Lodge. And this came out in 2017, and I paid $9.99 for it. Normally our bookstore has a lot cheaper books, but since this was new, I had to pay full price. Then when I dropped that political philosophy class, I ended up picking up a different class, and for that I actually had to read 2 different books. The first being Medical Bondage, Race, Gender, and the Origins of American Gynecology by DeAndre Cooper Owens. This came out in 2017. I paid $23.49 for it. No, I did not. I paid, what did I pay for it? I paid $19.43 for it off of Amazon. This didn't come out in 2017. This came out in 2018, and I really enjoyed it. I highlighted a lot of things throughout this book. It was very good. I highly recommend this if you're looking to get more into feminist lit or just the origins of gynecology. And the other one I read for that class was Radical Reproductive Justice: Foundations, Theory, Practice, and Critique, edited by Loretta J. Ross, Lynn Roberts, Erico Durkis, Whitney Peoples, and Pamela Bridgewater Tour, with a foreword by Dorothy Roberts. As you can see, I tabbed a lot with some weird tabs because that's all I had at school. This came out in 2017. I paid $23.49 for it, and I got it off of Amazon. I hate how many things I got off of Amazon. The next book was not the only book. The next book was the first book I got in February, and it was Indivisible by David Ammon. This I was sent by Novel to read and review. I didn't end up making a video for it, but I do have a review for that, and if I can find it, I will link it below, but if not, sorry. But this came out this year, obviously. I didn't pay anything, and it was a paperback arc from the novel. Then me and my ex-best friend went to a dollar store, and I picked up the Dream Country by Shannon Gibney. This explores like Liberia, and I've never seen that in a book before. This came out in 2018. I paid $1 for it, and I got it from the dollar store. The next book I got was this amazing edition that is annotated, like with like annotations that you would do yourself, of Jane Eyre. This is called the Writer's Digest Annotated Classics. There's only Dracula as the other one, which I would definitely want to be picking up. This is by Charlotte Bronte with annotations by K.M. Weiland. The book came out, Jane Eyre, in 1847. I paid $11.95 for this, and I got it from Curious Books, which is the local bookstore. The next book I picked up was The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. I can say Machiavelli, I just can't say Niccolo. But this came out in 1532. I paid $6.95 for it at Curious Books. Also in that same trip, I got Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin for $7.95. This came out in 1956, and I got it from Curious Books. Then our very own Emily Ashlyn, who I do host a book club with, as I mentioned before, that'll be linked below. Emmy wrote a book, and it is called Feelings by Emily Ashlyn, and this came out this year. It was $11.96, and I got it off of Amazon. The next book that I bought this. I bought Anne of Avonlea, which is the second Anne of Green Gables book by Ella Montgomery. I am going to probably end up buying the entire series, but I did kind of want to just get this one because I really liked this cover. I thought it was super cute. But this came out in 1909. I got it for $5 at Schuler's Books. The next one I got was The Taming of the Shrew by Shakespeare. This is just like the small little edition. It was literally $2. This came out in 1623, and I got it from Schuler's Books. Then on that same day at Schuler's Books, I got The Great Gatsby, which I didn't own, so I definitely needed to get it. I did find this box set of all of his works, so I kind of want to get that as well, but I did think I needed The Great Gatsby as its own, just because I haven't read it yet, and I definitely need to because I didn't have to read this for school. But this came out in 1925. I paid $28 for it, and I got it at Schuler's Books. Also on that same day at Schuler's Books, I got Dominicana by Angie Cruz. Yes, Angie Cruz. And this came out in 2019. I paid $8 for it, and I got it at Schuler's Books. Then another day I went to Curious Books and I picked up a couple of books. The first being Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I absolutely loved this book. I tabbed and annotated this entire thing. It was so beautiful. And this came out in 1938. I paid $9.95 for it, and I got it at Curious Books. The next book I picked up was 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I'm currently reading this and absolutely loving it. This came out in 1967. I paid $16.99 for it, and I got it at Curious Books. The next one I picked up was this annotated, Shakespeare book, and just this entire thing. It's old and it's pretty and it makes this weird noise and it's absolutely incredible. But this is his complete plays, and this I picked up at Curious Books for $8.95, and this came out in 1931. Then I went back to Schuler's Books for my birthday, and I picked up The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. At this point, I was kind of putting myself on a book buying ban, but clearly it didn't last very long. But this I got at Schuler's Books for $8.95, and this came out in 2011. While we were there, my friend picked up this beautiful edition of Shakespeare's whole annotated works for me for my birthday. It is freaking huge, but it is absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to dive deep into this and annotate it. But this is also annotated, and I'm really struggling to hold it. But this was free because it was given to me, and it was from Schuler's Books. Then a couple days later, I went home for my birthday, and my mom gave me a couple of books. So the first one is the Virginia Woolf's Three Guineas. This came out in 1938. I didn't pay for it, and she got it from Horrocks. The next two she also got from Horrocks, and the first one being The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Alire Sainz. This came out in 2017. And the last thing she got me was another Shakespeare-related thing, and it was Shakespeare's Treasury, or The Shakespeare's Treasury by Catherine M.S. Alexander. This came out in 2017, and I didn't pay for it. Then the week after my birthday, it was Easter, so I ended up getting The Priory Over the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon for my birthday. This came out in 2019, and it was a gift from Amazon. And the Easter Bunny, obviously. Then, when I got back to school, I ended up breaking my book buying ban over and over again by going to Curious Books. So the first thing I got was The Brothers Karamazov. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This came out in 1879, and I paid $19.95 for it for this beautiful, beautiful edition. It is so pretty. It is just, I'm so excited about this one. I definitely think I'm going to get a different edition to write in, but this one is super pretty just to have. I like having a couple of books like this. I thought this was written in Russian for a second. It is not. The next book I also got from Curious Books, and that is The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. This came out in 1960, and I paid $4.50 for it for this pretty good in shape Penguin Classics edition. I have been collecting these, and I'm just really happy that I got this. Then from Curious Books, I picked up 2 Barnes & Noble editions, which I am also trying to collect, and the first one being Hard Times by Charles Dickens. This came out in 1854, and I paid $4.95 for it. And this one we're not reading for the Dickens versus Tolstoy debate for a year or two, but I wanted to get it just because it was only $4.95, and it's a good Dickens, you know? Also, while I was there, I got the collected Oscar Wilde in the Barnes & Noble edition. This came out in 2005. I paid $16.95 for it, and I got it from Curious Books. Then, a couple of days later, I went to Schuler's Books again and picked up 3 Barnes & Noble editions from their used section, the first being Middlemarch by George Eliot. This came out in 1872, and I paid $5 for it. The next one is The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. This came out in 1881, and I paid $5 for it. The next one that I picked up was The Selected Stories of O. Henry. This came out in 1906 to 1917, and I paid $5 for it. The next book I picked up was Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Dickens. This is going to be one of the books that we're reading this year for the Dickens versus Tolstoy debate. This came out in 1839 and I paid $9.99 for it on Amazon. Also, while I was on my little Amazon buying spree, I bought Don Quixote by Cervantes. This, I have no idea what I'm reading, but I'm going to suggest it to my classics book club for next year, so hopefully they'll want to do that, because this is a hefty boy, but I'm very excited about it. Oh, and I paid $15.30 for it, and it came out in 1605. Also, while on Amazon, I picked up War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This came out in 1863, and I paid $13.25 for it off of Amazon. And I also, the second to last book that I picked up off of Amazon was Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. This came out in 1838 and I paid $9.99 for it. And the last book that I got off of Amazon in that little buying spree was The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. I don't know, by Mikhail. We're just going to call him Mikhail. Master Margarita by Mikhail. And this came out in 1967, and I paid $13.79 for it on Amazon. So for my birthday, my grandma got me a $50 gift card to Curious Books. So I actually bought 3 books the day before I used that gift card, because I forgot the gift card. So I just bought the 3 books, and then I went back the next day and bought 4 more books. So these 7 books are from Curious Books. The first one is The Making of a Marchioness, I think it's Marchioness, by Frances Hodgson Burnett. That is the author of The Secret Garden and The Little Princess. This came out in 1901 and I paid $8.95 for it. The next one is The Poems of John Donne, which is a little battered, but it's also annotated, like somebody went through and wrote their own thoughts on it, which is one of my favorite things, and oh my god, I just broke it. See? But it's fine. This came out in 1933 and I paid $6.95 for it. And the last book I bought before using that gift card was the novel version of Kindred by Octavia Butler. This came out in 1979 and I paid $16 for it. Then the 4 books that I bought for with my gift card. The first one was Ariel, the Restored Edition by Sylvia Plath. This came out in 2004 and I bought it for $15.99. The next one is The Lottery and Other Stories by Shirley Jackson. This one came out in 1949 and I paid $16 for it. The next one I got was Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov? I don't know. This came out in 1955 and I paid $16 for it. And the last one that I bought with that gift card was The Bell by Iris Murdoch. This I got for $7 and it came out in 1958. I also want to suggest that one for my book club because it is one of the first queer romances that actually made it to publication, and I'm really, really excited about it. That actually might be a false statement, but I feel like that is what I read off the back of it or off of Goodreads or something, but it's queer and I'm excited about it. The next 2 books I bought for book clubs, and then I ended up not joining the book club, so now I just have them. And the first one is Frankenstein, the 1818 text by Mary Shelley. This I am going to be reading for my book club, I think in December. So again, if you want to join, link below. And this came out in 1818, obviously, and I paid $8.99 for it off of Amazon. And the other one for the book club thing that I thought I was going to do but ended up not doing was Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. This came out in 1862 and I paid $16.39 for it. No. You know what? It's fine. I put myself on a book buying ban, like a permanent book buying ban, only buying for book clubs, but then I went into the student bookstore and I found these books for 99 cents a piece except for one. So I was like, okay, these are the last books I'm buying and then I'm not buying anymore. So I've been really good. I think I bought maybe 10 since then, and that was late April, so I've been doing pretty good so far. But the first one is The Indigo Girl by Natasha Boyd. This came out in 2017. I got it for 99 cents and I got it from the student bookstore. The next one is the one that I had to pay $11.75 for, and that was Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. This came out in 1929 and I paid practically $12 for it. The next one that I got was Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. This is the like old Penguin edition, which I don't really want to collect, but I got 2 of them, so I'm okay with it. And this came out in 1864, and I paid 99 cents for it. The other book I got in that edition was Charles Dickens's Pickwick Papers. This came out in 1836, but it was serialized, but this edition I think this edition did come out in 1936, but it was first published between the years of 1836 and 1837, so it was serialized. This was 99 cents as well. The next one was The Awakening by Kate Chopin? I don't know if it's Chopin or Chopin. Whatever, by Kate. And this book by Kate came out in 1899, and I paid 99 cents for it. And the last book that I got for the entire spring year was Othello by no other than Shakespeare. This is one of those editions that has all the like the actual text here and then the explanation over here, which I find very fascinating. I'm very excited to read a book like that. This I got for 99 cents, and it came out in 1603. So that is it for all of the books that I bought. This is they just keep falling off the bed. This is a very exciting video, and I'm very excited about all of these books, especially the ones I haven't read, and most of the ones that I have read. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, I guess, and subscribe if you want. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for a new one. Bye!